Hello everyone, and welcome to another Sneaky Builds. This is a little special because I decided to do a larger build, sort of more epic size, and I have no plan. This is I'm just starting here in this flat this flat land, and I'm gonna just see where the build will take me. So it's like I'm just letting my inspiration guide me as I build along. First off, we gotta make some terrain because we can't use this flat world. So let's bring out. I'm gonna use Voxelsniper, and right now it's set for to create stone. Whoop, and there goes a big stone block. I'm speeding this up in order for, otherwise this would take forever. So. And you can just lean back and enjoy, and I'll explain whenever I do something special. Right now I'm just building up the terrain to make I honestly don't know at this point. I'm just putting down stuff. I start out with a medium brush and then move to a smaller one. You can change the size of your brush with Voxelsniper. You can do enormous brush sizes if you want. Okay, we are skipping a little forward here, and now I've created a little more terrain and I'm getting into the groove, so I'm just smacking down stuff. I'm creating a big mountain in the center here. Here I decide that it would be a good idea to have like an arch, because that would look epic with the mountain sort of arching up. I'm switching to a smaller brush in order to make that happen. Okay, I'm building further terrain. I decide now that I'm gonna make like a square area for me to be my canvas for this build. So it's gonna be a mountain range which is surrounded at the edges by mountain ridges. And I still don't quite know what I'm gonna build, but I'm just going with it. With Voxelsniper you can paint at any distance as long as you can see it, and you can hit it, which is great, but it can also be a little bit dangerous as you can accidentally place stuff that you didn't want to. Okay, now I'm happy with the basic shapes, so I'm using the Voxel Smooth command to get rid of all those tiny little knobs that Voxel tends to create, because the way the brushes are shaped. Doesn't really matter what size brush, almost they always create these little things, and I'm getting rid of those. It does make everything a little squarish and blockish, but we're gonna fix that in a different way. I'm I'm just trying to get rid of most of them. There's gonna be some leftover. It's unavoidable, but I'm putting in water using the replace tool. I have a mask on so that it only affects the grass, so you can see I'm not hitting any of my rock formations. I thought it would be cool to have, like, it's gonna be a mountain lake area, or whatever you want to call it. Mixture of mountain and water region that has all these little islands jutting out of the water. Fixing a little some smaller things on the terrain here. As you can see, there's still plenty of little one block knobs sticking out, and I hate those. So also trying to maybe change some of the places where the rocks look a little too round, because the voxel brush I used was a round brush. So okay, now it's I'm fairly happy with the water and the way it looks. However, I decide that I want to make it deeper, so I add one extra layer of water. This time I'm just replacing air with water and using a disc-shaped voxel brush, so I can quickly fill out one extra layer of water. Then I go around and again using the disc shape brush I replace the dirt with sand, and because I want to sand bottom in all my water areas. I think that looks the best, and this is I think the quickest way. Okay, now we got the water and the sand in place. Things still look a little rough, but I'm beginning to like the area I've created, and ideas begin to form inside my head as to what I'm gonna build. But first we need to put some grass. Using the overlay brush with voxel, I can make it so that the top layer and just the top one block layer is turned into grass here. I'm carefully trying to avoid hitting these sand areas, because it'll actually replace the sand as well. So it would have been smarter to do this first, and you can see that I do manage to bunch up things a little. But it's beginning to look really great, I think. Like an actual landscape. And it's funny to think that we just started with that flat land. And now we have some really cool landscape. And here I go around trying to fix some of my little mistakes. Luckily it's relatively easy using the Voxel Replace brush. Okay, time to start actually building. I'm gonna put a building on top of the stone arch here. It's gonna be like a monastery, I decide at this point. And I start out by making sort of the floor foundation first, trying to get a shape that I like. A lot of the other cartos on blocks get very confused when I build this way on projects, because it's like, but I really enjoy using the terrain instead of making everything level. I go up and down, and that makes it a little more challenging, but I like the end result. I'm careful to make the various rooms big enough, and so that it will be possible to actually build something. And I surround the whole thing with stone brick. And now it's time to I'm gonna sort of just whoops, and then I make a mistake. Lucky we have undo. I'm using the stack command here, which is just a world edit command, to create sort of a castle structure going down from my floor base. I'm changing the various dirt and stone things into stone brick to create the foundation for the monastery. Stack command is a really useful world edit command, I find. Okay, I add a little extra features here. I don't even know how it's gonna look at this point. I'm just trying some stuff out. Okay, as the first actual build, I decide to do the stairway that's gonna lead up to the monastery. Okay, here I place a tower which is gonna be sort of an extra building, and I'm again using stack command, this time excluding the air, so as not to ruin the terrain around. Just make a boring cylinder castle shape, but I'm gonna change all that later on. Well, this is all we can do in this episode. This is a big build, so I split the whole thing into two, and I hope you will tune in for the next episode where I'll finish up the build. Thank you very much for watching. Bye bye!